Welcome to the
Hey.
A Travel Talk Show, episode 7, which just happens to match call 77 days physical distancing.
Oh, that is wow, trippy.
Isn't that wild? So we are broadcasting again 77 days live every Tuesday. We bring in some special guests, and it's about 7 p.m. PST, and we do it from self-isolation, practicing physical distancing from Base Camp Canada in British Columbia. Just so you know, this is an interactive show call, so we're going to remind everyone that's logging in as they come in. Give us a shout out. Tell us where you're broadcasting from. Share with us where you're at. And also, when our guest comes on, feel free to say hello and also to ask any questions.
Yes.
I'm your co-host. My name is Greg Gerard. I'm the co-founder of ehCanadaTravel.com, public speaker, community consultant, and also a top ranked global travel blogger.
Colin Gerard here, also your co-host and co-owner of ehCanadaTravel.com and the back-end techie of the company.
So what we're going to do right now is, as we always do, we're going to share with you our wonderful agenda, which is a brief little synopsis of what we're going to talk about today. So to start that off, we're going to do our regular feature call this week in tourism. What we're going to dabble on a little bit in that is we're going to show some of the social media trends that are starting to happen due to COVID. Very interesting stuff.
You betcha.
Second is our special guest, Merv Harvey. Merv is a campground advocate, co-owner with his wife, Kim, of Canyon Creek Campground in Hickson, British Columbia, which is just south of Prince George. And he is also a BC Campground and Lodging Association member. And Merv will be joining the show today, Call.
Yes, Merv. Glad to have him.
Yeah, we love these guys. I mean, we're going to talk a little bit about it, but quality individuals running a good show. And I'm excited to hear what Merv Meister has to tell us, Call.
Me too. Yep. We've had some good morning coffee conversations with them in the past, and they've always been interesting.
Yep, exactly. Third is our famous shameless plugs, which we tell you a little bit about what we got going on. And we're going to put a little twist on it. We just read an article today, which has some really cool trending statistics on how people are looking at tourism right now. And it's sort of just right in our wheelhouse, Call. So I wanted to share that under shameless plugs. Number 4 is our other feature, isolation vacation. And what we're going to do to honor our guest is we're going to show a really cool featured waterfall hike, which we really enjoyed. And it's right in the Merv Meister's backyard. So we're going to sort of feature that little thing with a nice little clip, Call.
Yeah, that was a great little hike.
Yep, exactly. So welcome to episode 7. Just so you newbies out there, we do it every Tuesday, 7 p.m. PST. And again, you can comment below. Flood us with your questions with our guest. Tell us where you're coming from here, and we'll make sure we try and put it up there. So we've got Susan Hall here coming in from Surrey, Colin. Susan is saying hi. Oh, a little shout out to Merv before the show. I think Merv might have some fans, Colin.
Yeah, he probably does. He's probably quite the club.
He's got a little fan club he's been holding back from us on. So we're going to have to bring that out. Carrie says hi from Calgary. And we got Donna Gould, Krenlin, giving us a shout out. And again, Yano, welcome back from Merritt. So we got a couple people joining us as we start our little diatribe. So again, we broadcast every Tuesday. Be here or be square. First thing we're going to talk about, Call, today is this week in tourism. And what I'm going to cover is some of the social media trends that's really starting to show some teeth out there. Here's one, and just butt in anytime you want, dude. Before COVID, everyone was checking their emails more as a time filler. So to give you an example, stats show that a lot of email usage or a lot of social media use was when you're waiting at the bus stop, when you're at the water cooler, even when you're going to the bathroom, when you're waiting for a meeting. What's happening is they were all using social media to fill in the time before whatever happens, right?
Makes sense.
Post-COVID, here's the interesting part. Post-COVID, they're saying that everyone now, because there is no schedule, there's no when can I fit it in, that they're having a more quality look. So they're coming online when they seriously want to know something. So what's happening is you're getting them, they're strategic now when they're using social media more, which I thought was really interesting. So the quality's up, usage is a little down. Right?
That is interesting.
So here's something on a bigger scale. Social media, content quality and development, based on a couple industry analytics, is taking a beating in brand recognition. You know why? Because they laid everyone off. There's no one there to create the branding. There's no one there to create the posts. There's no one there to create social media. So what's happening is the people are starting to notice that the posts that are coming online are farther and farther in between, and the quality is going downhill. But there's a solution. So I got something here that's going to tell you a little bit in a minute. Here's the other thing. There's going to be a social media community atmosphere comeback. Previous to COVID, what happened is a lot of the big brands out there were sort of taking us all for granted. They didn't really have to fight. Everything was going smoothly, yada, yada, yada. What they're finding out now is that because they need to keep their loyalty factors, what they're doing is they're finding that brands are interacting more with the comments. So before, they wouldn't even say anything. You could have 150 comments and you never see the brand say a thing. Now what's happening is they're starting to comment, and they're trying to also start conversations. Where this was a very minuscule part of their marketing plan. Now it's becoming massive. Now remember we said about those. You remember we said about those layoffs. You know what's going on there is because of those layoffs, and they don't have this massive content marketing staffing. Now what they're doing is the staff they do have left is they're integrating programs that use their posts. And they're using interactive employee-generated posts to generate that interest. Now, there's twofold. One is the employees are posting actual personal ads, opposed to before, it was more brands were doing more like advertising. So now what's happening is they're starting to see, okay, if we don't have the staff to post, we're going to use the employees we do have, use their posts, which again are more personal because they're there, putting new paint on a door, or they're putting a sign up to honor somebody or whatever the case. So now they're starting to see that sort of a kickback, right? This is the one I really love. Social media is going to morph. It's going to sort of get away from the traditional social media. And I know it's a young industry, but what's happening is because of the COVID and the use of video and digital conferencing, they're finding that now there's a whole bunch of companies developing a social media platform that involves video conferencing and chat. So now what they're doing is they're developing programs. So one example is that they're using is that Zoom chats are exploding on the internet right now. Right. And they're saying that social media is going to, from this pandemic, social media is going to take a big, huge right turn. And you're going to see this more of this video conferencing, sort of like what we're doing, right? Bringing Merv on, we're having a one-on-one. We sort of like the interview format because it's personal, and plus we can jazz up the background. As you can see in this case, we jazzed it up for the Merv Meister, put a little RV in there and a little tent in there. Made sure we wanted to make Merv feel comfortable, right?
Oh, yeah.
So our special guest, let me just give you a little breakdown. This is the Merv Meister. His name is Merv Harvey. He will be joining us right now. And Merv is a campground advocate. He's very knowledgeable about the campground industry, partly because he's also on the British Columbia Campground and Lodging Association. And even more importantly, he's a owner, operator, boots on the ground type guy, and operating Canyon Creek Campground in Hickson, British Columbia, which is just south of Prince George. And let's face it, Col, when we go to North BC, where do we go?
There's nowhere else to stay. That's the only place we go.
no brainer. I'm
Yeah.
just hoping they have room for us is the thing, you know.
Yeah. Oh, it's a
Now
great
that
place.
now that we're finding out Merv has a whole bunch of fans, right? So let's give what we'd like to do is we're going to bring Merv on the show here, and we want to make sure all of you give a big shout out. And I'm going to start posting some of the stuff up here, but we're going to give Merv a little highlight and welcome on. So I'd like to welcome Mr. Merv Harvey to the show, Canyon Creek Campground. Welcome to the show, Merv.
Welcome, Merv.
Hey guys,
Great to have you.
good to see you guys again.
Nice to have you,
Yeah.
Merv. Glad you can make it to the big show.
Well, yeah, it's kind of great when you're sitting in Hickson. I'll tell you, it's kind of neat to be on the big show.
There you go. There you go.
I was going to say, you guys know very well that when you're sitting in Hickson, it's kind of not an awful lot going on, and it's kind of nice to see that, hey, some people are saying hi to me here on the side.
We're gonna start posting those ones. There's a lot of people. Matt, where's this fan club there, big guy?
I don't know all these people. I know Kim paid out some money to get some people to say hi to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got Hilma saying Hilma's already setting you up for post show drinks.
Oh, I could see that. Yeah, just saw Tom walk by here just a little while ago. I don't know where he is. I think he's in the office chatting with Kim.
There you go. There you go.
Haven't seen Hilma yet, but I'm pretty sure she'll be bringing me up a glass of wine soon.
She's in Site 12, in case you don't know, and in case you have too much wine.
Yeah. Me? Guys, you know me better than that. I'm a beer guy.
You are.
In fact, I got to tell you about. Well, you guys have done a lot of camping, and of course, Kim and I, we did a lot of camping in our years, and that's kind of prompted us to get into this business. But shortly after we bought this property, and we did a lot of cleanup and a lot of changes and things, I like to greet the campers as they come in and go and make sure they get all set up. And of course, the first thing a camper would say is, "Would you like a beer?" And that's the dumbest question I ever heard. Because of course I'd like to have a beer.
Yeah.
That's so hilarious.
And Kim was up here checking people in. I'm down there helping them get set up and drinking all their beer and stuff. And one night I actually had problems getting home, and I live here.
That's what happens when your campers love you, though, dude.
Well, I can't believe the silliest question. Would you like a beer? And of course we get people from all over the world, and it's great to drink beer from all over the world. It's kind of nice.
Oh, there's the plus. There's the plus.
That's a great thing.
We're gonna dig into some real hardcore CNN type questions here, and we're gonna pick your mind and get a good feedback from where you're at. So Merv, Colin and I, you know how we feel about you and Kim and your campground, how we really look forward to it. But there's a lot of people here. Well, maybe not, because your fans are taking up everything. But maybe there are some people here that maybe you could fill them in about who is Merv Harvey and Canyon Creek Campground.
Well, Merv Harvey, as you guys know, I'm still working. I work for a living and to pay for this place. I started off in my career in sales and marketing in the forest products industry, and learned about northern British Columbia when I was quite young, and used to fly up here with a group of foreign Japanese, Chinese people to look at the forest. I fell in love with the country, and over time kind of started to enjoy camping with the family, and it kind of all just fell together that my destiny was actually to own a campground. Kim and I, we looked for campgrounds for several years, about 5-6 years, looking at different ones, the ones we could afford, some that we couldn't afford, and finally we fell in love with this place, and here we are, going merrily on.
Nice.
Yeah. And hey, we're grateful. We're grateful you found that one.
Yeah. It's kind of, I remember my dad always telling me that you have to do something you love.
Oh,
Yes.
And, you know, I didn't understand that until, probably 50. You know, I used to get up
Really?
and go to work every day, put on my tie, tighten it up, look good, shine my shoes, go and kiss somebody's butt and all that kind of stuff. And
Yep.
Dad always said, do something you really love. Well, this is it.
yeah.
We love camping, and we've got Kim and I. We have 3 sons, great sons, and we took them camping all the time. In fact, I attribute their success to a lot of it to going camping,
Oh,
because
yes.
when kids are out with their parents in a campground, whether you're in a tent or a nice big coach, you don't have too far to go. You can't run away. You kind of have to. You have to participate. You have to become part of a team really quick. You have to learn how to cooperate and participate, because you're not going anyplace. You're kind of stuck with your folks.
Yeah.
And I think our children really understood that quite well, and they did. They really they enjoyed it as well. In fact, even today, now they're having their children, and guess what? They're out camping with their kids.
Going
Yeah.
camping.
I'm going on and on.
Yeah.
Well-
Hey, Merv, just a quick little digress here. When you guys got your campground, based on our little conversations around the table, you guys have done quite a bit to it.
We've owned it now for about 13 years, and yeah, we've done an awful lot. It's really a labor of love, and
Yep.
if
Yep.
you get
Exactly.
if you get into a campground thinking that I'm going to sit here and just rake in money, go someplace else. Go to the casino. Campground isn't yours. I mean, there's always something to do. There's always an improvement to come along. Kim and I have referred to this place as a money pit from time to time. We do it because we love it and we love our customers and we enjoy it. But you know, some of the things that we do it basically for ourselves and for our customers. That you know what they like to see, and we those damn crows. Sorry.
We want to be on the show.
Yeah.
If you guys could see the birds around here right now, it's absolutely beautiful. We have a lot of hummingbirds coming through right now. A lot of purple finches, like literally hundreds of them. A lot of grosbeaks and that. But even those come to the campground because it's nice. We put out feeders for them. Our customers put out feeders for them, and it creates an atmosphere of one that you would like to be in. Like I'm pretty sure you guys come to Canyon Creek because it's a good place to be. It's you feel at home. And that's what campgrounds should be like. It's you like to be treated the way you would like to be treated.
Yeah.
And you'd like to have an atmosphere of that is non-threatening. It's a place that you want to be.
Mhm.
Yeah. Hey, and you know what, Merv? You forgot to mention one important aspect of. I think you and Kim have a lot to do with it.
I suppose. Yeah, when we bought it, it was really just 18 acres of grass and a bunch of water lines and power poles and things like that, and
Mm-hmm.
and not very many customers. So really,
Yeah.
what made it was when you add a little bit of customers, you add a little bit of personality with it, you have
Yeah.
put a bunch of people together, and it starts to grow from there.
Yep.
And 13 years ago, Kim and I, we were almost begging people to come and visit us and pay for it.
Yep.
First few. In fact, I think you guys are probably amongst some of our first that
Wow.
just come and give it a try. Come and see us down here. And
Yep.
it's unfortunate, but 13 years later, a lot of those customers, they have to phone and make reservations, and sometimes we can get them in, sometimes we can't, and that sort of thing. It's sad to say, but that's growing the business, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's no hiding it with us, anyways. I mean, your campground is our is the go-to for us when we're anywhere's basically, Hickson and 500 kilometers either way. We're that's our base camp, and when you saw us, we base camp it. We come hang out, and we go on our day trips.
Mm-hmm.
And
One
there's
of the
a
best
heck of a lot of
campgrounds.
stuff to do. There's a heck of a lot of stuff to do when you got a really good base camp.
Well, yeah, we're it's a great spot. It's we attract a few family reunions and a few weddings, and like a lot of people figure that Hickson's in the middle of nowhere, but that's absolutely wrong. We're actually in the middle of Calgary, Edmonton, and Vancouver. We're 8 hours away from everything, and so it makes us an ideal location for events to happen, for families to get together.
Mhm.
Everybody has to travel that 8 hours to get to us, and we seem to be right in the middle of it all.
Yeah. What do you think, Cole?
Well, you're definitely got one of the best run campgrounds we've been at, and I mean, it's comparable to anyone we have been at across Canada. I mean, it's the atmosphere there is always happy and friendly. You guys are with our morning coffee discussions and the Friday night pizza barbecue. The stuff like that just makes such a huge difference. I remember the first day we stayed with you, first time. Every morning, you'd have coffee ready on the porch, and it'd just be
Yeah,
out there so everybody can come and get their coffee, and that was huge. I mean, it made a big difference, and like you say, the birds, the sounds when you wake up in the morning are great. I mean, I love the birds, and it's an incredible spot you guys got.
yeah.
Hey,
Well, the coffee's
remember when we first, I don't think we were in a motorhome when we first came, were we, Merv?
no. I think you guys were in a tent. In fact, I'm sure you're in the tent. And
So that coffee had added bonus.
Yeah.
yeah, I think you guys are in a tent down in Site 30 or 31 down there, nestled in there, and you get up in the morning, come have a coffee with us, and then
Yeah.
take off for the day and go mudding someplace, or go up to the falls, or down to Quesnel, or out to Barkerville, or
Yeah,
up
Yeah.
to Prince George. It's yeah.
yeah.
You guys worked hard to get to where you're going too. I mean,
Well, thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
We're thank you for that, and that means a lot coming from you.
We
Yeah.
too, like you say, we love what we do, and it makes all the difference.
yeah. And it kind of just starts off. I mean, when we were camping, and Kim and I, we've camped right across Canada and stuff, and that's one thing I always liked when I went camping was coffee in the morning. And guess what?
Yeah.
That's what we provide our campers: coffee in the morning. And anything that when we bought the campground, it was kind of anything that we could disliked about camping, we changed it to what we liked about camping.
Mm.
Like we got rid of the coin ops in the shower house.
That's
Good idea.
huge.
Yeah.
Little
You know,
things like that are huge.
like I could remember getting so mad at a campground over a quarter because I had to go get change for a $5 bill. I had shampoo running in my eyes, and all I had was a 5, and I was looking for
Yeah.
anybody with a quarter.
Yeah.
You try doing that at 7 o'clock in the morning, with shampoo.
That's
Excuse
hilarious.
me, do you have change? Yeah. So we got rid of those things. We have the coffee. And we like to do silly things too. I mean, we have a lot of kids that run around here and stuff. And I'm not sure if you were here the year that the region experienced a caterpillar outbreak,
Yeah.
where if
No.
you can imagine just millions and millions of caterpillars. And like they get so bad at times that they bring out the graders on the highway to get them off the highway. There's just
Wow.
literally millions and millions of caterpillars. And of course, caterpillars eat trees, and you can hear them. They're in the trees, and the leaves are just disappearing off these trees. And of course, Kim and I, we didn't want to lose our trees, so we came up with all sorts of solutions and thoughts and ideas. And somebody said, well, if you mix this certain kind of soap with water and spray the trees. Well, we did that. We put a little bit of soap and a little bit of water and went and sprayed a tree. We've got about 8,000 trees on the property, so it wasn't very good. That wasn't very good. So Saturday morning got up and we had this brilliant idea. We paid the kids a bounty on the caterpillars. And
I love this story. I love this story.
We came up with this plan that, well, if all the kids would pick up all these caterpillars and go and get them all, we could get rid of the caterpillars around the property. And so came up with the rules and regulations on how to capture caterpillars. And we paid a bounty of 5 cents a caterpillar.
Wow. Wow. That'll add up.
Oh, stupid me. I didn't know there was that many caterpillars in the world. But anyway, we gave the kids a little bowl. And of course, I was the bounty hunter or the bounty guy. And what they'd do is they'd go around, collect their little caterpillars, and they'd bring them up to me. And we would count them out like one, and we'd drop them into the water. We had a solution of water. Yeah. We'd just drop them in there, 1, 2, and the kids were standing there with their eyes wide open. And then they had to go in the store and see Kim and get their money. Well, that worked out really, really well until kids started racking up $100 here and there and that. But we found a solution to the problem. These kids literally got thousands of caterpillars, like thousands of them. Then the real neat thing was all the money they earned, brought it back up to the store and spent it. So I really didn't lose that much.
Yeah, there you go.
And then we had the parents thanking us for babysitting their kids all day, all weekend.
They must have had a blast.
Yeah, are you guys doing caterpillars this year? Well, we haven't got the caterpillars. But we like to have fun, and I think that's part of being a campground owner. You have to participate with your customers and have fun. Yeah, you have to be part of the group.
So here's a little bit of some industry analysis. I'd love to hear it from your campground advocate and your campground knowledge. COVID hit us all in tourism in the industry fast and hard. Merv, there's no hiding it. We've all different reactions all over the place, different information all over the place. Are you seeing any sort of fallout or immediate challenges that you might see or hear from the campground portion of the industry? What are you seeing out there?
Well, some campgrounds, everybody's different. It's everybody's got a different take on it, I think, guys. I've got my opinion on it. The association has their opinion on it, but really the opinion that matters is that of the health department. They've got a crisis on their hands, and I believe they're dealing with it quite well. I mean, if you take a look at the province of British Columbia, they've done an excellent job where I believe today there was only 2 more cases or something. I believe we've flattened that curve, and I'm hoping that to be true. And I think if everybody just continues on with what they're doing and handling it the way they have been, I think everybody's going to be safe. Like I was telling you earlier on, I don't want to get sick, and I'm sure you don't want to get sick. So we have to kind of follow the rules. It's pretty basic. It's pretty simple. And it's nothing that we didn't know before. You don't go sneezing in people's faces. You cover your mouth with simple stuff. Wash your hands, social distance. It's stuff we should have been doing before. I mean, if you got a cold and stuff, if you got the sniffles and stuff, I mean, just like, guys, it's not rocket science.
Yeah.
I feel sorry for the people in the major centers, places like Vancouver, where you have to cram 85 people into a 48 passenger bus just to get to work. You wonder why we have outbreaks? I'm sorry, that's it. How do you social distance, when you're crowded into a bus or you're that close together? I mean, it's pretty tough to avoid. But we're fortunate in northern BC. I believe we're only up to maybe 60 cases, maybe, and I don't believe we've had any deaths up here.
Mhm.
But we're not crowded. We're not, you know, it's different in the RV industry and the lower mainland. Like up here, our sites are 40 feet wide.
They're massive.
Yeah, lots of space.
They're massive. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know,
You know what? We always joke when we go to campground. Sorry to interrupt, but just to put this in, because it's a big point with yours, is you actually get space to breathe and to camp. Where you know, no disrespect to others, but sometimes they pack you in like sardines, and it's just not camping.
Yeah.
True. And a lot of people asked me if I was going to open up every second site, and I said, well, geez, no, I'm going to open them all up. I mean, I can do that. Whereas down at the coast, if they opened up every second site, at least everybody could put their awning out. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's a question. Here's a question from one of our guests, from Christine here. What rules do BC campgrounds have as you reopen? Sask is 50% capacity in Saskatchewan.
The basic rule that we have is you have to be able to social distance. No groups over 50. Does that mean my campground can only have 50 people? That means no, I can't have a wedding party in my, or you can have a group of 50 as long as they can social distance. That means stay 2 meters apart. And other than that, we can be wide open. There is no order to say that we can't be wide open. We chose here to keep our shower houses closed and our tenting area closed, just because as much as we do here, there's still going to be some, what do you call them, stupid people? Yeah, I can say stupid people that aren't going to follow.
You can say that because call it like it is, man.
Yeah, that aren't going to be so clean and tidy and look after themselves in the shower house and that sort of thing. What's recommended is once we do open up the shower house, we'll have to disinfect probably every hour. And that means not just like every touch point. And being open, I mean, whenever we do our garbage collections and that sort of stuff, we spray all the garbage cans and the recycle bins. And when somebody checks out, we clean their table, we disinfect the table. We disinfect as many touch points as we can possibly think of. That meaning their fire pit, anything that they could have touched, the power outlets, the water spigots, they're all disinfected. We try to think of everything that we can disinfect that we can when somebody checks out. So we try to make it safe for everybody. And we ask that the customers do the same thing. If anybody needs any hand sanitizer, we've got bottles of it and some real good 99% stuff. It smells like alcohol.
Hey, we're coming. We're coming.
Hey, kind of tastes like, you know, mix that with a little bit of Coke and you can have something. No, it's just taking care of yourself. So it's that's the major part of it, is look after yourself and everybody will be okay.
And respect others, right?
Respect everybody.
Yeah.
Right. And because I run a business as well in Prince George, I taught our staff, it's pretty simple that if somebody's approaching you, you have the ability to back up. It's a two-way thing, guys. I mean, if somebody starts to get too close to you, just kind of back up. So like Kim at the counter in the office there, if somebody approaches the counter, she just backs up. And the other person, you just gauge when you're encroaching on somebody else's territory, right? And you feel that they don't want you to come close. So everybody kind of moves. And I think everybody, it's an instinct that everybody has, I think, in themselves.
And there's nothing wrong with saying something too, as long as you're polite. Like people, most of the time, people are just forget. You know, and you just say you're a little close, keep your distance, and people are usually fine with that.
I find bad breath with garlic and pepperoni. That works too.
That'll work. It's good.
Yeah. Oh, look, somebody wants, Susan Hall says, hey, yeah, where's Kim? They're chanting for Kim.
Oh, they want Kim. Kim. I think she's still in the office with Tom.
There you
I don't
go.
know. Right here.
Look at that.
Yay.
That's the
There
best
she
thing yet.
is.
There you go. That's the
Welcome.
president.
45 years, 45 years. I haven't smothered him yet.
Yep. Yes, I love it. I
Excellent.
love it.
Good to see.
Good to
Yeah.
see you
Good to
guys
see you,
too.
Kim.
We miss you guys already.
Yeah. Merv is bribing us with a whole bunch of goodies. It might be sooner than later.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Hi, Susan. We found Kim for you.
Susan, you're all happy now.
Thanks for having us, you guys.
No worries. Thanks, Kim.
It's our pleasure.
Can you rent a trailer there, Merv? Somebody's
Yeah,
asking.
we have our own personal trailer that Kim rents out. We basically it belonged to one of our previous guests that had unfortunately passed away, and we agreed to purchase their trailer. And we keep it on here basically for our kids when they come up, because we live in a little 640 square foot house. Talk about life changing. We moved from 2,500 square feet down to 640. I'll tell you, that was life changing. But
Wow.
we have the trailer here, and if it's available, if the kids aren't using it or something like that, Kim does rent out the trailer, and we put it on a site, and it's pretty comfortable. It's got a slide and all that kind of stuff. It's 27 foot, and everything works. The fridge works and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, answer to your question, Daniel. Yeah, we have a trailer.
Excellent. Good question. Keep them coming, guys. If you want, again, give the Merv Meister and Chant Kim to come back, then make sure you make a note. You just make a comment here. Also, if you have a question for Merv, we'll try and fit it in. Good interaction so far, guys. Keep up the good work. So, Merv, a little, again, I see you as an optimist. What do you see as some of the good things coming out of this? What do you see the industry and yourself and campgrounds in general?
Okay, well, I think it's probably pretty common knowledge that there's probably more RVs than there are campgrounds. And with COVID, I think we're going to find a lot of people are going to say, I don't want to fly any place, and I really don't want to go sit in the ocean for months on end. I don't want to take a cruise. So I think what we're seeing is there's going to be a lot of people that want to go camping for the foreseeable future anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I think the term is staycationing. They don't want to go too far away from home. They know their RV, it's safe. They disinfect it themselves. Everything they touch in there, it's themselves. They can stay together. Whereas other types of vacations, you can't really do that. And you're staying away from the crowds, which is, you're staying away from the Disneyland. You're staying away from, 400 passengers in an airplane and 85 people on a bus. I think it's going to be a couple of years of staycationing, and I just hope that the campground owners treat our customers with respect and don't go crazy and trying to cram more people in. Let's keep the quality of what we have here in British Columbia alive and well. And British Columbia is a beautiful province to travel, as is Alberta. I mean, we're originally from Alberta, and we had a lot of good times in Alberta campgrounds as well. And I'm just hoping that out of COVID, a lot more people take up the experience of the outdoors and camping.
I love it. Well, we're Colin. I'm sure me and you can fulfill Merv's wishes there, because we're sort of outdoor fanatics and love it outdoors. And I'll tell you right now, I think you're bang on. I think this rural and small town tourism has a chance to grab a bit of a market share, and also to establish a bit of a brand out there, because traveler habits are changing, and they're changing fast.
Mm-hmm.
I'm missing my camping.
What's that called?
I'm missing my camping. We haven't been out yet this year, and you get cabin fever.
Yeah.
Just
Hilma's
getting out there.
asking if you're like a dad of excellence. What's that? Is that code for something?
Do you still coach kids baseball, scout leader? Well, yeah, I did all that kind of stuff, Hilma. As a dad, I was a baseball coach, coached kids for many years, and also a hockey coach, and yeah, did all that kind of stuff. Did a
There
lot
you
of
go.
scouting and a lot of survival camping and taking kids out camping, and those are some of the best years of my life, is spending it with the kids. And we still do that around the campground today. I mean, have a ton of fun with the kids, and we, I teach them, some kids, how to fish, and a good many kids have caught their first fish here at Canyon Creek, and a lot of kids have
Nice.
learned to ride their bikes at Canyon Creek. And in fact, just this last weekend, there's a kid, he got his training wheels off for the first time, and boy, that was enjoyable watching mom and dad chase him around the park. Little guy was going and going and going, and I had to lend him my.
Hey,
no,
Merv, you said a little bit of touching on the new campground reality out there, and you've already covered some of the things that you're doing to navigating that field out there. What do you see for yourself, Merv and Kim, on how you're going to move forward with your campground? What do you got ideas of how to move forward?
well, actually, if you're doing something and it's working, Dad always said, don't fix it. It's working well. It's I think that we have here what a lot of people are looking for. We have the wide open spaces. We have we know we can put in another 40 sites here, and I'm pretty confident if we put in 40 more sites, the people that are here today probably would never come back, because we'd become just a parking lot of RVs. And
Yeah.
we're a park that RVs come to, and like I say, our sites are at least 40 feet. We have tons and tons of green space. Like we've got about almost 18 acres here, and about 7 acres are maybe developed, and that's it. And we don't want any more. We don't want to add more sites. We don't want to. We want people to have a lot of space. We like watching people out there playing bocce ball all over the place, and playing soccer and football and all that kind of stuff, and giving everybody a lot of room. And that's what we have.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of campgrounds that would like to have, because of the land costs. I understand, you can't do this in downtown Vancouver. I mean, it's unless you charged, millions of dollars for a site a year. I mean, you just can't afford to do it, guys. So we're pretty fortunate. So.
Yeah. Well, and just so our audience here and the future audience will see this further down the line on other social media, it's important to know that you also got a little nice, really cool little hiking trail that is good for kids to ride their bikes on. You've also got the creek right next door. And I also whooped my little brother's butt at horseshoes at your campground.
You had to get that in first, eh? Had to get it in first.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah, we've got neat thing about this area here is it's we have 2 creeks, the Canyon Creek, which runs on the south side of our property around to the west. Then we have the Hickson Creek that flows from the north, and they kind of meet at the back of our property. And then those 2 creeks flow together down into the Fraser River. And during the gold rush, the largest nugget was taken out of the Hickson Creek. So, and it weighed in excess of 2 pounds.
Wow.
So we get a lot of gold panners up here from all over Western Canada. And I've seen nuggets come out of the creek that about the size of my little fingernail there. So
nice.
That's kind of nice to watch somebody find a chunk of gold like that. And and we have people from Blade and his wife. They come up here almost every year from Red Deer, and he gets a couple ounces of gold every year and that sort of stuff. And up at the
Cool.
falls, there's a lot of panning going on up at the falls, and there was a fellow from Alberta that made his living off the falls. So gold
Really?
panning is a big
Wow.
thing, yeah. And the trails. I mean, if you like walking, just beautiful down in there. And it's about, during the height of the heat during the summer, it's usually about 5 or 10 degrees cooler down there because of the big, huge cottonwoods and the big towering spruce trees and that. So pretty
Okay.
nice down there.
Excellent.
There's
Hey,
there's
Merv,
a ton to do there.
what's that
There's so
called?
much to do there. Like you say, there's people can come for 3-4 days, and every day they got things to do.
Yeah, and there's fishing in the creek after July 1st. My son catches, he practices catch and release, and he catches trout about so big, just, he says they're bigger, but he never brings them back. I understand why he always releases, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
or he says he catches.
Okay, Merv, I think that's it for the show. I hope you come back. I hope we invite you back.
Yes.
Maybe we can even do a show on site from Canyon Creek. That would be
Yeah,
cool.
there we go.
That'd be great. And we'd
That
see
would
some
be
real
fun.
campers. Yeah, have some real campers on. And
Yeah,
chat with
we
them.
could have
That
a
would
good, we
be-
could have a good play on that one.
Yeah.
I think that'd be great, guys. And
Yeah.
we really appreciate it. And you guys, and I hope you guys come back here because, we could use the money again. I mean,
Yeah.
Well, Merv, thank you very much, and thank you for Kim for making a show. And we love you guys. Continued success. Colin and I have a lot of respect for what you guys are doing, and you know how we feel. And we will see you as soon as we can. And thank you for coming on our show.
hey,
Big hugs for both of
appreciate
you.
it. And good luck with your show, guys. It's great. It's
Excellent.
we need all the support you guys can give us. We appreciate it.
Cool.
All right,
Thanks,
thank you.
Merv.
Thanks, Merv.
Take care.
You bet, you guys.
So that was Merv Harvey, the Merv Meister,
The big Merv.
Big man Merv.
Yeah.
He's a campground advocate, co-owner with his lovely wife Kim of Canyon Creek Campground in Hickson, British Columbia. They're just south of Prince George. I would highly recommend it. I think Colin will back me on that. Merv is also a BC Campground Lodging Association member. Did you want to add something to the Merv Meister call?
I thought, thanks for coming. I thought it was a great interview.
Yeah,
And we miss you guys. We'll be out there soon enough.
exactly.
I
So
mean, if you're traveling anywhere in British Columbia, like you say, it's close to everything. So I mean, it's worth going out of your way to stay there.
just so you guys know, when we stay there, man, we've gone golfing. We went all the way to Vanderhoof. We almost went all the way to Dawson Creek there. I mean, we halfway went to that park, and then we also on a day trip we went and did Hickson Falls. We went down to Canal.
You got Barkerville right there. I mean,
Yeah, I mean it's brilliantly located, and it's again the rural and the country atmosphere. And I'm a big proponent that the host makes any type of accommodation. I've been to places where the host is terrible, and I don't care how nice the place is; it's not comfortable. But
Yeah.
I've also been to places that aren't as top notch as everyone wants, but the host makes it, and that accommodates for everything. So, top notch campground, top notch people, top notch things to do. Thank you, Merv and Kim, for coming on the show.
yes.
Yeah. So on our shameless plugs, we're going to do a real quick, interesting thing. I just read this thing called Coronavirus Travel Sentiment Index. I thought
Sentiment Index.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it was in the New York Times. It was actually a survey that was done, and it was in the New York Times. They said in January, 74% of Americans were planning to visit 2 urban trips a year. Okay, so this is an American thing, but I mean, there's some justification here too. On April 14th, in the COVID pandemic, 40% will change the type of destinations they choose to visit. 55% said they're going to avoid crowded places, and 50% avoid the hardest hit COVID areas. So that's telling you the travel trend that's coming up around the pipe, eh?
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
Yeah.
Merv hit it on the nose. People are getting out and going camping. They want to get out there.
Yep.
Get away from the crowds, be with their family.
Yep.
And it's not enough campgrounds to go around is a problem.
Yep. Second thing, April 24th, they said 4 out of 10. And this is for you at Canyon Creek, you awesome people. Here's a good stat for you to throw around. From this coronavirus travel sentiment index, that's like a tongue twister, man. Holy. And they said on April 24th, 4 out of 10 agreed camping and RVing is going to be their choices for this upcoming whenever it comes. So 4 out of 10, almost 50% of the population is now looking at a camping or an RV alternative.
That's huge.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I think that's pretty big, right? This report I found was brilliant. I mean, it's exactly what the travelers are thinking, right? They said nature-based destinations have an opportunity because of the way things are going and the big shift in travel preferences. Nature-based destinations have an opportunity right now to establish market share and to brand themselves to be more than what they are. There's an actual opportunity here where they can, because everyone's looking at them, now it's an opportunity as a whole. They can really capture a bigger piece of that market share, extend the seasons, all the things that we were looking at on trying to help the industry. This is actually an opportunity where we can work on extending the seasons, and we can work on having winter camping and winter activities. We can work on promoting that. We also could work on RV year round, winter and summer. There's a lot of opportunity. And the thing is now the public is listening.
Yes.
Right? And the big one thing that came, the bottom line, and on this report, it was bolded. And it said to the effect that, yes, we're in a challenging situation, right? But they're saying in every challenge, there's an opportunity if you look for that. And we're big believers in that. I mean, we've done just in this whole 2-3 months, I can't believe all the new programs and things we're developing. But one of the, was that a plug?
No, might have been.
Oh, man.
Subtle. You're getting good. That was very subtle.
Yeah. They're saying it's a great opportunity to grow and sustain a market share. And they're saying that the campground and the RV industry and nature-based destinations are prime to establish a stronger brand during the next, not during just the next 2 months. They're saying this could be like a 2-year opportunity, a 2-year window to brand camping and RVing as an even bigger market share. And I love that.
Yeah.
As long as Merv and Kim save us a spot at their campground. Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Canada suited perfectly for it because so many outdoors, so beautiful everywhere in Canada.
Yeah.
I mean, get out there, enjoy, and experience new places.
Yeah. Plus, I got to whoop your ass at the Merv Horseshoe Pit.
Yeah, it'll be a first, I guess.
I think, next time I think we go, we're going to bring a trophy.
And we'll have to videotape it so we know who won.
Oh, yeah.
Who does it first.
Yeah. So next week, we got a little bit plug here on who's showing up next week. Our special guest next week is Carolyn Child. Another top-notch guest. The engine and the knowledge base behind the successful mytravelresearch.com. She's also a futurist, a strategist, and a public speaker, a global tourism expert from, guess where, Colin? Our cousins in Sydney, Australia, out in Australia, are going to be joining us again.
Excellent.
Yep. And that's on Tuesday, May 26th, next Tuesday at 7 p.m., right? And she'll be joining us on Facebook Live. The other cool thing too with Caroline is she also does another webinar out there that I've been attending to, and I'm hoping she comes and talks to it, which she has come up with some great guests as well.
Nice.
So isolation vacation, we're going to close the show off. What we're doing on this isolation vacation is we're going to honor Canyon Creek Campground with a little photo collage of Colin and I's adventure to Hickson Falls, which is a real cool little hike that's family friendly. Takes you to beautiful falls, and it's basically if you don't know it's there, you're not going to see it. So it's one of those really golden little finds, right?
And it's easy.
Yeah,
It's very family friendly.
Yep. Yep. So we're gonna leave you with that. So again, my name is Greg Gerard,
I'm Colin Gerard.
and we are the 18 Brothers, and we are your co-hosts for the A Travel Talk Show, and we are also the founders and entrepreneurs of ehCanadaTravel.com. We are the largest privately operated website in Canada, 100% Canadian owned. We give back to communities, and we would sure enjoy more support from businesses and travelers alike. So keep on joining. We've gotten a lot of good signups out there. And me and Colin here, we're going to give you that virtual high five call,
Oh yeah.
right? Virtual high five.
Yeah.
We love you, Canada. Thank you for joining, everyone. And please stick around and watch this. So when you do go to Canyon Creek Campground, you want to check this out.